Just on the game, did you have any notion that it was, I think it was 26-2 from the free throw line and going in the final minute? It's very rare to win a game when it happens, but to do that on your senior night here, got to make it pretty sweet.
I think in the spur of the moment, we were kind of just worried about the score and what we were going to do defensively. I mean, you can look at the stats, you can see that, but honestly, those are things you can and cannot control. I mean, you got to worry about the things you can't control in the heat of a game, especially a game that's going to come down to one possession. And guys stepped up, guys made huge plays for us, and that's just what it comes down to. Baylor said it earlier, we've lost a couple times on senior night the past 3 years, so we wanted to all the guys did a great job sending us out the right way, being there for us, and when we walked into the locker room, we got doused with water. Oh my gosh, we're still sick. And here comes Juston.
Let me reiterate, you guys did this to me on
Go Knights.
Yeah, but you had 38. So
Swords up.
For all of you, if anybody had said to you that your senior night would be in this building, Division I game, you got a chance to win 20 games on the season still, what would have been your reaction back on, when you signed here, show up on campus? Dylan's already answered.
Yeah, I already answered this one, y'all.
Man, when we signed, to come here,
or when you first got here.
It's been a roller coaster.
it's been a crazy ride. And if you were to tell me that, I would ask what team we'd be playing for. To be in Division I, to be playing at this amazing place, and to get a win against a really good team on senior night like that, I would have said that we were the luckiest team in the world, and we really are. And I love everybody here. And we've already gotten emotional before the game, and I think all my tears are gone. But it was a great game and a great night, and the support is overwhelming, and we appreciate it a lot.
And we're fortunate enough to get another home game.
Yeah.
We are, yep. We had to come back.
CJ, a question. You've been here longer than anybody. What's this night mean to you?
It's crazy. Like I said earlier, when Justin and I were freshmen, we beat who'd we say it was Indy? Indy.
Yeah, on senior night.
We beat them by like 8 or something. We were looking at it earlier, but just to be able to go out with these guys, we all gave a little speech before the game, and it was a little emotional. And then Justin got up, and it was a lot emotional. But just you see our bench, you see the way that our guys interact. To be able to go out there. I know some of the fans maybe said it was a little too close or too much of a nail biter, too stressful, but to be able to go out like that, go out with a bang, but we still got a lot of work to do. It was a nice senior night.
How much are you guys aware of what you can still accomplish? I mean, with the games you have left, 20 wins, tournament, conference tournament. I don't know that any of us thought you'd be in this position when the Division I decision was made, and here you are. How aware are you of that? How important is that for you guys to leave that legacy?
I think it's extremely important. Not so much with the 20 wins. I know that's like a milestone for every season, but sometimes we don't really look at that. We just look at the next game ahead, where we are in the standings and how that's going to go. But we still got a big game versus a really tough EKU team with the way that they play. So we have to come out, be ready to go on Saturday, and then as it falls from there, I think the other teams play on Tuesday. We'll watch those games, scout, and fortunately enough have a home game for the ASUN Conference Tournament back here in Freedom Hall. So it's been a cool experience.
I was just going to say, if we can just go one by one, and this may not be fair, but just your favorite Bellarmine basketball memory of the last 4 years.
You want to start it, Bob?
Baylor?
Really?
Will asked us that the other day, and we were kind of hard to pick which one was which. But go ahead, Barry.
Yeah, it's hard to pick, but pretty much any time we go in the locker room, it's usually a pretty goofy memory, especially with JB.
What I said the other day is getting our first Division I win this year after we had a very, very tough road trip going out to California, then Seattle, then Vegas. So that's a bad answer, but that's what I got.
That's a great answer.
Probably thinking back to last season, the 20-point second half comeback against Stetson.
Yeah, that was fun.
That's a game that I'm always going to kind of remember. These two hitting big shots and then throwing me the long ball to dunk it. That's something that I'll always remember.
What about your 38 points? That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I love that one. That's one of my favorite memories. I would say last year we didn't succeed, but just playing for that conference championship in our first year, that was amazing, an amazing experience, and hopefully we learn from it and go in the conference tournament this year and make some noise.
Yeah, I would say the entire West Coast trip, just grueling travel, but to top it off like CJ said with the Central Michigan win was amazing. Doing that in Vegas, we had a lot of support there as well with our families, so definitely that trip.
Have you all been able to put it into perspective that you're only in your second year in D1, you're already hosting a conference tournament game, to be how crazy that is, any of you?
At least from my perspective, I don't really think it is that crazy, just because we came here and we were used to winning, and that's all we've ever known. And when we went to Division I, our coaches never said, "Hey, it's okay if you lose. Like, we're gonna get better." Like, it was always we're playing to win, and we've had some great success, and it's something we want to build on. But whenever you're playing with people that are as capable as the guys on our team and are as bought in as the guys on our program, then it's not much of a surprise for us.
Do people understand that just how, you're playing a good league now, but just how good the league you were in was? Because you went on the road in that league, and it was sometimes every bit as tough against the really good teams, I guess, as it is now. Do you ever think about just how good some of those teams were that you played?
I think some of us will look back as Dylan's from Evansville, and look, you can see USI is now going Division I, but seeing teams like that, like UIndy, seeing their success, stuff like that. So just being able to look back and see some of the crazy road trips that we had in Division II to some different places.
Yeah.
But I just think, as Juston said, you don't want to sound arrogant, but you also want to have confidence in yourself and your teammates and what you're going to do out there on the floor. So our coaches have just done a great job to be able to build a team, put us together, and go out there and compete for a championship.
All right, Dylan, I guess just tell us how did it feel out there.
It felt great, It was really emotional, especially towards the beginning. Just kind of thinking back on, all the games and all the experiences that I had, and knowing that, wow, this is, it. This is the end of it. So it was really emotional, and then the game got going, and you kind of just start playing, and, at the end of the game, I was like, wow, we got to win on senior night, my senior night in college. And, luckily we still get to play here one more time, but it's just one of those things, man, it feels like just yesterday was my first, game. We were playing Wabash and Knights Hall. And then, last year played Chattanooga here in Freedom Hall for the first time. And, my, games in a Bellarmine uniform are very limited. So it was very emotional, but, it means a lot to me that we were able to go out there and get a win.
Your face rarely changes during the game. Were you surprised at how emotional you were when you came out to start the game?
Yeah, a little bit, because I try to, not show my emotion as much. But, sometimes it just comes out, and that's just the way I was feeling during the game. So that's the way I was feeling leading up to the game. Throughout the day, it was kind of something that was on my mind I was thinking about. And it's one of those things you can't really prepare for. You're just kind of in the moment, and that's how I felt throughout the majority of the game.
Foul trouble was an issue for you guys early and often, and I told them free throws were 26-2 going into the final minute before they started fouling you guys. You shot 7 free throws there at the end, to kind of make it not look quite so. But did you have a feel for that during the game? I know you spent some time on the bench, you probably wouldn't have, but to overcome that kind of number is pretty rare.
No, not really, because it was just sometimes you just put in tough situations where it's kind of 50-50, bang bang, or the referee has an angle where he sees it one way or another. So it's kind of hard for me to get a feel for it, especially when I was in foul trouble and I had to come out in the first half and then I had to come out more in the second half. So it wasn't something I really could get a feel for. It was just you got to go out there and just play basketball. You know, the referees are part of the game, so you just got to play with them.
How special is it for you to come away with a win on senior night?
It's
What's it like having your coach interrupt your press conference?
I would like to know what would happen if I did it to him. What was the question again?
Just how does it feel to get a win on? How special was it to get a win on senior night?
It means a lot. Just I saw, last year we played Liberty on senior night. In that game, I think that one hurt more from the standpoint that was for the regular season conference championship. But I think back to my sophomore year, getting beat by McKendree, knowing the class of seniors we had and how hard they worked to get to where they got to. And then my freshman year, those guys and all they had accomplished, losing to Lewis. Those games were like hard for me as an underclassman to watch and play in and accept, just because I always wanted those guys to go out like with their heads held high and with a win in a place where they put a lot of work, time, and effort in. And for me to be a senior now and for it to come out the other way, it makes me feel really happy, and it's really rewarding that all that time and work we put in, it was able to pay off, and the group of guys that we have were able to, come together and get a win on this day, and it's really special and something I'm always going to remember.
Did you have any idea that your senior night would be in this building and again a Division I game, and we got a chance to win 20
If you
games?
told me when I signed my letter of intent to come here, you are going to play, your senior night will be in Freedom Hall. You will be playing against Lipscomb, who is your conference opponent, because you will now be a Division I athlete. The three-point line has been moved back, and you possibly have to get it.
You said wait on everybody.
Huh?
You said wait on everybody.
They asked me if we wanted to do a one-on-one.
Coach, you told me to do it all together.
That was about to be a great.
You can go by yourself.
That was going to be good for you.
Yeah, I was about to say it was going good, but shoot, I just keep getting interrupted today.
Three-point line was moved back. That's what I said. I can't think of everything else.
You're going to not play in Knights Hall. You're going to play in Freedom Hall. You're going to play against Lipscomb, who is now your Division I in-conference opponent, and you will be playing in the middle of what is called a pandemic, which I would not have known what that meant at the time. And after the game, you might possibly have to get tested if you have symptoms for said virus. I would have been like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. So my college experience has been very unique, and it's changed, and it's nothing I expected coming in, and I wouldn't change a single thing because I've loved every second of it with every guy I've had in this locker room, in this program. It's been absolutely wonderful.
You also played Gonzaga and Purdue earlier this year in UCLA.
I mean, those were fun until they switched Chet Holmgren on you, and you're like, why can a 7'1", 7'2" guy move fast enough to keep me from getting to the basket?